Good day and welcome to Predators Proclivity. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the podcast where we look at data from the season for the NHL Nashville Predators and make comments upon it while hitting the microphone boom and trying not to hit the mic. And all these extra complications here. I'm your host, Preston Proctor. Yeah, it's a Saturday. I kind of blew it. I kind of forgot the games were coming up. You know, got so involved in watching the past two games, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and I knew a couple more games coming up, but I'm like, oh yeah, Saturday. So I had a few things to do yesterday, so I'm doing my podcast on Saturday. And a bonus, I had originally planned to do Calgary and Edmonton together, and I got up this morning and said, why? They don't play Edmonton till Tuesday. Not that a lot of stats would change between now and then, but, why not just keep this focused? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, focused. Focused. Kind of like Vegas's penalty kill. Oh, my gosh, their penalty kill is so good. That was really scary. Watching those guys, a couple of the Preds power play looked good once, and then oh my goodness, Vegas looked really dangerous on the penalty kill. So, but we came out of that game with a win. Somehow gave up 3 goals to Seattle, who doesn't score in the first period. Neither do the Preds. So that was really a surprise. But, it is what it is. Seattle got a good win, and we're moving on. We are moving on. But where are we moving to? We're not quite. I wanted to talk a little bit about Marcia Show. Now, I don't believe there's been anything announced yet, but there's more rumblings. I guess Toronto is now in the mix. So I said, okay, fine. Let's take a quick look out here, because the thing that was really weird, they're talking Montreal, and the rumors are Montreal's going to trade Patrick Lane. Okay, so just some background on Marcia Show. He's 35. He's got 3 more years on his contract. He's getting paid $5.5 million a year. The Preds are halfway through the season, which I guess is kind of relevant, kind of not, because I don't know how that works. If they get played for a season, and then if they get traded to a team that's played less games, and so they play more games, is it a per game thing? I don't know. That's kind of an interesting question. I'll have to find somebody that actually knows something. And help me with that. Or if they play less, do they not get their whole salary? Not sure how that works out. But as it is, the Preds have played 40 games, so just right about halfway. And I did do a playoff review based on the standings at the end of the year. Not much different between what you're seeing on the schedule and what I did, but maybe I should get to that separately. But I'm moving on with Marcia Show. Rumor is that either Montreal or Toronto is so close to the salary cap, the Preds would have to retain salary, which is not a big deal for Predators from the standpoint that they got plenty of cap room. But I don't see Patrick Lane being a reasonable trade. He's 27. Okay, so that's not too bad. $8.7 million a year, and this is the last year of his contract. So he's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. $8.7 million. If it were Patrick Lane, I can't see that the Preds would retain any salary for Marcia Show. But I don't see that being a reasonable trade for the Preds. I don't think the Preds need to be bringing in a big name player. They did, the summer before last. We got Marcia Show and Skay and whatever the guy Stamkos. And then, got a couple other players, Hala and a couple of Knicks along the way this last year. So I don't really see that we need to buttress the defensive core. Maybe so, but I don't see bringing in an $8.7 million player in the last year of his contract as something that makes sense for the Preds. What I did like out of Montreal was Oliver Kapanen. Oliver Kapanen is 22, entry-level contract, so $935K. He's got 12 goals and 9 assists, which is pretty good on Montreal's. I think he's like in the top 10, top 8 in goal scoring at that point, 12 goals. And he's young. What I didn't note how many, I think, okay. He must have time left on his contract because I didn't note that, he needed how much time is left on his contract. I didn't note that. But as it is, I think he would be a good addition and maybe get a couple of draft picks too, or another player that we, that we send to the minors or something like that. But I can't see that Patrick Lane is on injured reserve month to month on top of everything. He's not expected back till the end of February. Something wrong with his abdomen. So why? I guess he wouldn't have to play him. But Patrick Lane doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said, who was? We could get Philip Deneau. No. He just got traded to Montreal. But Oliver Kapanen, one more year. He's got one more year, and then he's a restricted free agent. And I just think that I think that makes a lot of sense because of where the Kings are. He's a goal scorer. He's got capabilities. He's young. So I think that, along with some draft picks, or like I said, another player. Maybe another young player down here. Well, he's not young, but just looking randomly through the area here. Maybe another young defenseman, or I'm just. We could get Carrier back. Yeah, no. Anyway. So that was the thing that made sense to me, not Patrick Lane. As far as Toronto, nobody's really mentioning any names around. I did see, Max Domi. It's got average stats. He's 2 more years on his contract, $3.75 million. He's 30. He has a 13-team no-trade clause, so probably Nashville's probably on that list. Just guessing, but that can always be waived. With the right incentive, but I didn't like that. What I did like is Nicholas Robertson. He's 24, $1.825 million. The last year of his contract, he'll be a restricted free agent at the end of this year, which is not so bad. You just need to make a qualifying offer, and if he's working out right, 8 goals, 11 assists. They could do a sign and trade. The other option would be Bobby McMahon, 29, $1.35 million. Last year of his contract, an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year, 12 goals and 8 assists. Another could be a sign and trade type situation. But I liked the Oliver Kapanen from Montreal with draft picks. Maybe not draft. Maybe they do need to throw another player in there. But maybe a young. No, we got plenty of goaltenders. I like the team that's down up in Minnesota, Milwaukee. Haven't done any analysis on them lately, but I did watch them in training camp. But you get somebody young, send them down to Atlanta, somebody we can develop. But yeah, that to me that made sense. Patrick Lane does not make sense, especially if he's injured. Probably won't even play the rest of the year. Out till end of February. Who knows how long that's gonna go? So anyway, that's the Marcia Show story from my standpoint. And just real quick on the playoff review, I have the Kings in the playoffs instead of the Kraken, and as a wild card team, and that really the only difference, major difference that I have. The teams stay the same. The order might change, but I didn't really see anything interesting in the analysis. What I did, just so you're aware of how I did the analysis, is that I took what they've done in their last 10, and I took what they've done at home and away. And so I took their home record in percentage and averaged it with their last 10. Of course, I can't figure out whether last 10 was home or away, and then use that to project what they're going to do at home, and then did the same thing for road, then added it up and then sorted it out. So anyway, that's how I went about that. And like I said, I didn't really see any big changes. So, okay, enough of the preview. When we get back, we'll talk about Calgary. And we're back. Okay, so, wow. Tonight, Calgary, who are they? The Predators. The Predators are in Calgary, 6 o'clock game time here in Nashville. Calgary is 7th in the Pacific Division. It wasn't that long ago we were talking about Calgary and Nashville being down in the bottom of the league. Hey, no more in the bottom of the league. But 7th in the Pacific Division with 40 points. I think they have been higher. It's 40 points. They're 5 points. They're 5 points out of second place. So, if you take, you're leaving Vancouver in the mix, the Pacific Division, there's a spread of 10 points from top to bottom, which is manageable. You take out Vancouver, it's 6 points. Right, so Vegas and Anaheim are tied at 45. Then you got two teams tied at 43. Then the Kings at 41 and Calgary at 40. So all of that is pretty fluid from day to day. It's one team wins, another team loses, and you jump up 3 or 4 spots. So Calgary's definitely still in the mix in the Pacific Division. Just going to run through the other divisions real quick. Take a look at the Metropolitan. The difference is 11 from the top to bottom. And in the Atlantic, it's 9. So 9 in the Atlantic, 11 in the Metropolitan, 10 in the Pacific, and a whopping 33 in the Central, 33. But looking at the overall standings, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, the top 3 teams in the league. Then comes Detroit, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. And then at the bottom is Winnipeg. So you've got the top 3 teams in the league, and then you've got the worst team. So, yeah, not surprising there's a big spread here in the Central Division. The other divisions are relatively closer. So, and then, like I said, take Vancouver out. The Pacific Division is 6 points from top to bottom. So Vancouver, I think, has pretty much given up the ghost. But Calgary has not. And on top of which, Calgary is 18-18-4. So they got 40 points. At home, they're one of the best home teams. There are other teams with better records. I'm not going to say they've got the best record. Well, Colorado 17-0-2. Still have not lost at home, Colorado. But Calgary is 12-5-2. 12-5-2, which, frankly, in the Pacific Division is the best. Anaheim is 12-8-1. And then, 12-8-1. So Dallas is 12-6-2. Minnesota's 13-4-5. So they have a home record as good as anybody. Maybe not Colorado. Toronto is 14-5-5 at home. The Red Wings, who are now at the top of the Atlantic Division at 14-7-1. So Calgary is good at home. 6-13-2 on the road. 6-13. The other surprising thing about them, and I usually mention this later, they've played a boatload of Central Division teams. I mean, it's just, I think half their schedule has been Central Division teams. They played 40 games, and I know I usually talk about this later. They played 40 games, and they played 14. Okay, a third of their game have been against Central Division teams. I don't know. That's just it's a schedule. I mean, what's the big deal? But who's 10-0? Buffalo. Buffalo was 10-0 their last 10. Holy cow! I'll take a quick look here because I like to get distracted. We're not playing Buffalo. Are we playing Buffalo anytime soon? Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks for jumping. I love ESPN site. You know, you're sitting there and you're doing something on it. Then they pop up a new ad and everything shifts. So you click on something, you click on the wrong thing. You're looking at something, you can't do it anymore. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay, so 10. They've won their last 10 and lost 3 before that. So, yeah. So they've jumped up in the standings. Do we play Buffalo anytime soon? Yeah, we play Buffalo in a couple weeks. We play Buffalo at home on the 20th. So that's coming up. The 20th, that's 17 days away, so 2.5 weeks. Hopefully they'll cool off by then. But anyway, yeah, so 10-0. Wow, good for them. But we're not playing them. We are playing Calgary. Calgary is 7-3-0 in their last 10, just rounding that out. Other things I don't normally talk about at this point in time in the podcast, but hey, show of hands, who's fine with that? Hey, I am. Okay. Yeah, so for Calgary, this is the 4th of 5 at home. They're 3-0 on this homestand. Their last homestand, they were 2-0. Like I said, they are really good at home. Let's just take a quick look here. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 3 in a row a couple times. They started off the year awful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Losing. They won the first game, then lost 8. I'm here to tell you, 3 in a row is as long as they've got. They've got 1, 2, counting this one, 3 times they've won 3 games in a row, and not 4. But they are good at home, and they've got 2 more games on this homestand. They play Seattle on Monday, so they can beat Seattle. That's fine. You guys go beat Seattle. We're going to end your 3-game winning streak. Then after that, they've got 5 on the road. They'll have a back-to-back, of course. Who doesn't? Except, anyway, I'll quit now. Yeah, they'll have a back-to-back Montreal at Montreal and at Boston. So they'll have to cross a border on those on that particular back-to-back. One of my favorite things. I commenting on the. I'll get to it later. Try to focus here. You know what I need? I need to focus. This is the last game of 3 versus Nashville, the only one in Calgary this year. Last year they played 2 in Calgary and 1 in Nashville. So far, Calgary is 0-2 against Nashville. Because the 2 games were not in Calgary. They lost 2-4 and 1-5 November 1st and December 2nd. Oh, that's funny. November 1st, December 2nd, January 3rd. Okay, somebody in the scheduling office has a sense of humor. And I think last year we played Calgary on January 4th. November 15th, December 10th, January 4th. So I don't, it would have been January 5th would have been, 15, 10, 5. That would have made more sense. But last year the Preds did split the 2 in Calgary, and then Calgary won in Nashville. So Calgary was 2-1 against the Preds last year. As far as personnel changes go, or injuries, let's talk about injuries. Number 19, defenseman Zane Parekh, day-to-day, not expected back till the 7th. Number 76, center Martin Pospisil, week-to-week, not expected back till the end of January. Number 24, defenseman Jake Bean, month-to-month, not expected back till the end of February. Excuse me. And then number 29, left wing Samuel Honzek, month-to-month, not expected back this season. Good news for them on December 30th, or good news, have a little New Year's present for Devin Cooley. He got a contract extension, 2 years for $1.35 million a year. So number 1 goaltender Devin Cooley got re-signed on the 30th. So that's Calgary. You know what I do need? I think I need my quantum energy bar. I'm not going to eat on air, but yeah, if you go to quantumsquares.com, gosh, all these sites love to show videos as soon as you get there. Quantumsquares.com, use the promo code PredsPro, get 25% off. You can get an 8-pack of salted peanut butter crunch. Not my favorite, but hey, maybe it's yours. I did try the peanut butter dark chocolate. I have not tried this dark chocolate pink Himalayan salt yet. I have to say that the chocolate chip cookie dough is still the current favorites in the house. I haven't polled Prudence later to see, but you can get a 12-pack that will have 5 of these flavors. For some reason, they've got a 12-pack that only has 5 of the flavors. I think it's the salted caramel that's not included in it. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure why. You get 2 of 4 and 3 of the other ones. They got all 6 on the front of the thing, but you don't get all 6. You get 5. And I'm not sure about that, but it's $27, $28 for a pack of 12. But like I said, free shipping at $35, and use the promo code PredsPro for 25% off. Oh, so, yeah, what was the other thing? That was another thing I kind of got distracted with. We'll move on. Okay, the Predators. The Predators are 5th in the Central right now with 40 points, same number of points as Calgary. 18-4. On the road, 8-9-2. They are 1 point behind Utah, who has played one more game, and they are 2 points ahead of St. Louis, who has played one more game. Tonight's game is the 6th game of a 7-game road trip. That's what I was going to talk about. 3-2 on this road trip. Now, the announcers do not count this as a 7-game road trip. They count it as there was a 1-game road trip and then a 6-game road trip because Christmas was in between. And so the Preds actually came home. The thing is, when you look at the schedule, the 7 games are on the road, so I call it a 7-game road trip. I don't care if they came home or not. Got into this last year too because they did the same sort of thing. And I don't think there was a break. It's just we played St. Louis, and then there was 2 games, and then they went on the road, and they kept ignoring that game as part of the road trip and whatever. Anyway. So it's for me, it's a 7-game road trip, and this is the 6th game of it, and they're 3-2. So on this road trip, I guess if you really did want to take the Minnesota win out, you would say they're 2-2 on this road trip. But I like leaving it in because it was a win, right? And we like wins here. Who are we winning on? Okay, well, we're not winning with Ozzy Weisblatt, number 89 center Ozzy Weisblatt, still month to month, still expected back to 26th of February. That date hasn't changed, but why should it? We're nowhere near that yet. And then, Marcia Show is out till the 3rd. I'm sure that's going to move. It smelled like a trade. I mean, he was supposed to be back on the 20th and the 23rd and the 31st and now the 3rd. That's too bad. But you make trades. He's a good player. He had a decent season last year, just not doing it this year, and who knows why. And it is what it is. So let's move on if we can, and let's talk about some of the Preds stats. What do you say? Yes. So Preds stats. Okie dokie. Shoot. First goal. The Preds gotten the first goal in anytime lately? Not lately? Let's see. They have not gotten the first goal in the last 5 games, right? The last 5 games were all on the road. The last time they got the first goal was against the Rangers. So this whole what is it called? This road trip. Thank you. 5 games. The Preds haven't gotten the first goal at all, which means, given that they're 3-2 in those 5 games, It hasn't been quite so meaningful. If they do get well, let's just talk about this impossibility here that they actually get the first goal on the road. Only happened 4 times, and but hey, at one point they had only scored 1 goal, I think, in 8 games. So if you're only going to score 1 goal in the first period for the whole season, you only have 1 opportunity to win the first period. I think they did win at that time, but they've upped their scoring in the first period. They did get 3 the other night against against Vegas, and then had Seattle put 3 up on them. But so now they've scored 11 goals in the first period, so a couple more opportunities. But they are 3-0-1 on the road when they do get the first goals. Now, not a lot of data points, but there you go. If it happens in the first period, they're undefeated, 2-0-0, and if it happens in the second period, they're 1-0-1. The more frequent thing, 15 times. Hey, 15 times, 19 road games, almost at that number 20 mark. We will be at the 20 mark after tonight's game. Woohoo! Yeah. But 15 times out of the 19 times, the Preds have not gotten the first goal. Of course, the other guys have scored 27 goals in the first period. It's a lot easier to win the first period when you score 27 goals in 19 games than when you score 11. Right? Anyway, so the Preds actually not so bad. 5-9-1. So just 2-1 advantage for the opponents when they get the first goal. But hey, it's only a 2-1 advantage now. It used to be worse. So the Preds doing a lot better. I mean, even the announcers mentioned that how their comeback ability is good, and that's great. I don't really believe in the first goal concept, but and that it being that important. But let me, again reiterate, I've never played hockey. I've played some field hockey just in the backyard, but that's about it. Played a little soccer, but as it is, I don't think the first goal is as important as it used to be because scoring in the NHL is a lot more than it used to be. They got rid of a lot of the things that were impediments to scoring. They continue to do that because they want to up scoring in the NHL, and I can applaud that. Goaltenders do not, but I can applaud that. And I don't think the first goal is necessarily quite so important. When the opponents score it in the first period, which is what happened most of the time, 5-8-1. The second period has only happened once, so they lost that game. But yeah, I can see that it used to be more of a morale thing, and you can feel better about yourself. But I think now with the scoring the way it is, it's not necessarily as big of a deal. But that's what the stats are. So winning by period on the road, again, the Preds not scoring a lot in the first period, so they definitely have a losing record in the first period, 3-11-5. When they get the first goal, they are 1-0-3 in the first period, and when they don't, 2-11-2. Stats aren't that great. Let's move on because we know the first period's not so good. The second period, wow, coin flip for whatever result you want. 6-6-7. 6-6-7. And the third period, 7-6-6. So the first period really should be 6-7-6, right? So take the same numbers and jumble where the 7 is, right? Second period 6-6-7, and then the third period 7-6-6. When the Preds do get the first goal, they are 3-1 in the second period, 2-1-1 in the third, and when they don't get it, they're 3-5-7 in the second. And hey, 5-5-5 in the third. Look at that, 5-5-5. Overall, they're 7-6-6 in the third period and 5-5-5 when they don't get it, 2-1-1 when they do. But hey, how does that translate to winning the game? Because that's what we want to do in the end. Win the game. We're not out for the first goal. We're not out to win the period. We're out to win the game. So in the first period, winning the first period 3 times. Hey, won all 3 of those games. the second period, the first period losing the first period 11 times, 2-9, and the tying it 5 times, 3-5. So 3 wins for the ties and 3 wins for the win, 2 for losing. So all hope is not lost. We come to the second period. The Preds have won it 6 times, so 6, 6, and 7, right? 4-2 when they win it, 2-4 when they don't. 2-5 when they tie. So, definitely like that winning the second period. They did that against Seattle for all that was worth, but they did win the second period. The third period, 7, 6, and 6, right? So 7 times they've won it. They're 4-3 in those games. 0-6. 0-6 when they lose it and tying it 4-2. Removing empty net goals. Removing empty net goals. They actually won the third period 8 times, 3-5. Though they've won it one more time, but it doesn't improve the record. Taking out the empty nets, they have lost the third period 4 times, and they're 1-3 in those circumstances, and then tying it, they're 4-3 in those. And then let's move down here to the combinatorics of winning, losing, and tying the first and second. Again, looking at the road record, the only thing now that has not happened is to win the first and tie the second. So that's a big 0. The thing that has happened the most, 6 times out of the 19 games, so a good third of the time, is to lose the first and tie the second. And that's 1-4-1 for those 6 times. 3 times they've lost the first and lost the second, and you do that and you lose the games. And they're 0-3-0 in those 3 games. And then the 3 times they've tied the first and won the second, they're 2-0-1. So that happened 3 times. The other scenarios that have happened twice is to lose the first and win the second, and to win the first and lose the second. So, win one, lose the other. When they lose the first and win the second, 2 times they're 1-1, but when they win the first and lose the second, they're 2-0. So that's a decent record. One time they've won both, and of course they won that game. That did happen against Vegas. They won the first and won the second. Tie the first, lose the second. They're 0-1 in that one time, and then tie the first, tie the second, 1-0-0. So that's a perfect record right there. I guess, still looking at this and saying, what's my favorite scenario? I would have to say, winning the second remains my favorite, because that's 4-1-1 in all of those scenarios. So 4-1-1, I guess they're 3-1-1 if they tie the first, 3-1-1. So that's, I guess that's close, but you got to pull for either tying the first or winning the second. Strange days indeed, right? I like to pull for them winning. I guess if they win the first, that they are 3-0. So I guess that would really be better than 3-1-1. 3-1-1. I mean, there's still a loss in there. I guess basically losing the first is what not to hope for. That there's not a lot of good that comes out of losing the first, and unfortunately, it has happened the most, 11 times. So, okay. So now we have done that. Winning by period. Yeah, winning by period, result correlations. Okay, got that. And so now we move on to goal scoring. So, goal scoring. We've touched on this a little bit already. The first period, the Preds are being outscored 11-27. That's not so good. The second period, pretty even, 15-15. I guess pretty even or even, however you want to put it. The differential is 4 goals, depending on whether the Preds win or lose. 9-5 when they win, 6-10 when they lose. So yeah, goal scoring for a differential, not too bad in either case, but yeah, 15-15. And then the third period, I think the Preds are still, even regardless of the performance of the last 2 games not helping. The Preds are outscoring the opponents 25-12 in the third period. When they win the game, they're outscoring 13-5, which is exceptional. Losing 12-16, so there's only a differential of 4 there, and probably made up by empty net goals. But yeah, so they're playing them pretty even in the third period, if they, or even or better than in the third period. The second period, playing fairly even. And in the first period, they're winning or losing the game. So, the kind of the Preds' road fortunes right now come down to how well they get out of the gate and do in the first period. I think we can just start, predicting stuff based upon that at this point, and have a pretty good opportunity for, yeah. I'm not a big gambler, but I think you could, make some determinations, in-game determinations. I don't know what the odds would be, but I don't know how that stuff works. I thought maybe at one point I should at least look at it so I could be aware, but I can't get that excited about gambling. So let's move on. The difference in goal scoring. Yeah, I know. I kind of skipped over winning goal. We'll get back to the winning goal after we wrap up the goal scoring here. So difference in goal scoring in the second and third period based upon how they enter those periods, winning, tied, or losing. The thing that has happened the most in both periods is to come into the period losing. 11 times in the second period, 12 in the third. And I think if you add up the whole, the numbers from all the rest of them, 10 is 15. So, winning the second and third period, those numbers added with tying the second and third period, barely more than how many times they've come into the third period losing. All right, well, let's go through it. The second period, when they come into the second period winning, which has happened 3 times, not the least, mind you, but it's next to last. But they weren't scoring. They did the Vegas game. That was they did come into the second period winning that game, and they won the next game. But when they come into the second period winning, now they've got the 1 goal. So they're 1-3. 3 times they've come into the second period winning, and they're being outscored 1-3. The second period, when they come into it tied, happened 5 times, and they've outscored their opponent 7-3. So that's pretty good. Coming into the second period, losing 11 times, and they're outscored 7-9. So at least that's close, but not quite where you'd like to be. The third period. The Preds come into the third period winning, happened 5 times. They've outscored their opponent 6-5, but 3 of those are empty net goals. So they have been outscored 3-5 in the third period with the goaltender in net. Coming into the third period tied is the scenario that's happened the least. It's twice, and they outscored the opponents 2-1. No empty net goals to detract from that. Coming into the third period losing has happened 12 times, the most of any of these particular scenarios, and they've been outscored 15-12 or 12-15. A couple of empty nets. The Preds got 1. The opponent's 6, so it actually comes to 11-9, so at least they are outscoring in the third period, even taking out empty nets. And on the road, the Preds are a pretty good scoring team, so and it's not coming from empty net goals. So there you go. Taking a quick look at when the winning goal is being scored, and good point. I should break this out a little bit more. I can do that. Not while I'm recording, but hey, somebody in the production team, make a note. Because, and I'll get to it in a second what I'm talking about. Anyway, so on the road, The winning goal, let's see, the winning goal against Vegas was scored in the first period, and then, Seattle got the winning goal in the first period as well. So that's now happened 4 times, 21% first goal. Most frequent, though, is 6. So hasn't happened in the shootout. So overtime in the first period, both 4 times, the second period 5, and the third period 6. The third period does have the biggest number, but it's still fairly evenly spread out when it's being scored. So it's hard to see anything clearly there. When the Preds get it, 50% of the time they've gotten it in the third period. So that is notable. When the opponents get the winning goal, it looks like the second period is the highest, although that's 4, and the first period is 3, then 2 in the third, 2 in overtime. So, it's double what in the other ones, but still there's not a lot of data points, and it's fairly even right now. I guess the only place where there's really a big differential is that the Preds win. There's a high propensity for that goal to be scored in the third period, even though they didn't. They got it in the first period against Vegas the other night. So, when the home team wins or the road team wins, home team has won 21 times in these 40 games. The road team has won 19. Again, the second and third period, even at 6, so 29%. And then first period has 4, overtime 3, shootout has 2. I just think that's hilarious. But the road team, when the road team wins, third period, even with the road team getting the winning goal in the first period the other day, 8 times in the third period, not quite half, but twice as much as any other scenario. The other scenarios that are half of that are the second and overtime. So 21% in the second and overtime, 42% in the third, and then the road team getting the winning goal in the first period has happened 3 times, just like it did in Vegas the other night. So, there you go. That's your when your winning goal is happening. Now, going to the matchups. How do we match up against Calgary? That's so weird, that Seattle game, because Seattle, doesn't score a lot of points, doesn't have a lot scored against them. They continued not to have a lot of goals scored against them. But then they did get the 3 in the first, and then they got the empty net there at the end. So, but yeah, the Preds 3 goals in the first against Vegas. So those 2 games definitely anomalies. So for the season. But let's see. Let's take a look. Goals for. Again, we like to look at this stuff on a per game basis. And it's a lot easier when you have the right data. Okay, so just had to take a quick break and put the right data into my spreadsheet because the Predators had not played 21. Somehow I got the home and road data, home data in both the home and the road sheets. So, now that we've got this right. So the Preds are on the road. Calgary is at home. Calgary has played 19 games. Oh, this is kind of nice. Calgary has played 19 games at home. The Preds have played 19 games on the road. And so that actually puts them in the same similar situation relative to the other teams in the league, because only 2 teams have played more or less games than the Preds. 8 teams have played the same number. So 21 teams have played more games than the Preds. And similarly for Calgary, 20 teams have played more games than Calgary. 4 have played the same and 7 are below. So that's why we like to look at things on a per game basis. And so goals for, let's just run through Calgary here. Calgary, 3.11 goals for at home, which is above average, just slightly. 3.07 is league average. So they're right at league average. They're 14th in the league. In the first period, 0.84, which is slightly below. Second period, 1.05, which is right at league average. In the third period, 1.16, which is above league average. So 1.05 is the league average for home teams. Moving on, they are 31st in the league in being scored against at home, 2.16. League average is 3. So they're stingy. Stingiest in the first period, 32nd. They are the hardest team to score on. 0.47 goals a game. League average for a home team, 0.85. So that doesn't bode well for the Preds. They get they're a little bit more lenient in the second period, 0.79 to a league average of 0.97. So, and then the third period, they shut everything down again, 30th in the league, 0.84 goals a game, league average 1.10. So they are very stingy, but I guess their goal scoring goes up across the periods, which is different. Is that finally? Most of the season for home teams, the number of goals has in the third period was below the second period, but now it's actually above 3 goals. The home teams now have 3 goals more in this third period than the second. So, but that's not a problem for Calgary. Calgary has scored, 59 goals, 16 in the first, 20 in the second, 22 in the third. So they league average in the first and second, and then above average in the third, and then they are just clamp everything down. So they're a team that's very hard to score against, period, which is similar to where we were at with Seattle the other night, right? Maybe I should take a look at those stats too and just compare them. But it's a different game, different place, different team, not in a back-to-back situation. So, So the Predators, 2.79 goals a game on the road. League average is 3. They're 26th in the league. 0.58 goals in the first period, so that has ticked up a little bit. They are now 30th in the league on the per game, not 31st anymore. Whoo! Look out, whoever's next. The goal scoring in the first period is definitely the biggest problem. And Calgary doesn't like to give up goals in the first period. So expect a scoreless first. That's what I'm expecting. The second period, the Preds a little bit more, 0.79. So they come up to 27th in the league. Woohoo! Whopping 27th. 7-9 with league average is 9-7. That's interesting. Same numbers in the first and second, 5-8, 8-5, and 7-9, 9-7. So they have the league average numbers that's in the wrong order. But then we come to the third period, 1.32 goals a game for the Preds, 5th in the league. They were first, but then they didn't score in the last 2 games. So now they're 5th in the league, 1.32. League average, 1.1. Goals against. The Preds are 9th in the league in being scored on the road, 3.42. And I need to switch this. The power play, my penalty kill power play numbers I promised to switch, and I forgot. We'll just deal with it today, and hopefully we'll remember. I got 2 things to talk to the production staff about. So then in the first period, the Preds are tops in the league in being scored against. Well, that's fun. 1.42 goals a game, league average 0.89. So the Preds are giving up half a goal per game more than league average in the first period. And then in the second period, boy, they shut it down. They're 31st in the league, 0.79 in the second period with a league average of 1.05. And then after getting through the second period, then they're like, okay, fine, you can score goals now. And league average 1.06, and they're just above that, 1.11 in the third period. So, second period, neither of these teams... Calgary does score, but neither of these teams, it's the same number, 0.79. Both teams give up 0.79 goals a game in the second period. Second period. Wow. I guess we could have the first game where the first goal is in the third period tonight. That would be something. That would be something. And I have no stats on that. None at all. So let's move to special teams. And I took another break and fixed the spreadsheet for my production staff, so we don't need to do this moving forward. Hopefully this makes more sense. Hopefully I can make it make sense. Okay. Right. So the Preds are on the road, and Calgary is at home. So percentages. Let's go through the percentages. So we're talking about the penalty kill first. Calgary's penalty kill 80.8%, 10 goals against on 52 opportunities, and they've given up. And they've scored 3 shorthanded goals. 3, count them 3. That's pretty good. Wow. Vegas hasn't even done that. And their penalty kill was scary. Total shorthanded by games played, they are 18th in the league, and goals against per games played, 21st. So 18th in opportunities, but 21st in goals against. So that's a good ratio to have. So you'd say that they're league average as far as number of times. And then as far as the Preds go, the Preds penalty kill 72.9%, up to 29th. That haven't been the best. 16 goals against on 59 opportunities. So they played the same number of games as Calgary as far as home and road. But they've given up 6 more goals on 7 more opportunities. They've got 1 shorthanded goal. So their net rank is 29th. Actually, Calgary's net rank is 4th. They're 4th in the league. As far as that goes, the Preds, 19th in the league on the road in the number of times shorthanded, but goals against they are 9th. So the ratio is going in the wrong direction there. 17th most opportunities, but the 9th most goals per game scored. And so let's take a look at the power play. Power play for the Calgary, not good, 16.1%, 25th in the league. 10 goals for on 62 attempts, and they've given up 1 shorthanded goal. So their net is the 23rd in the league. 16th in the league in opportunities per game, and 24th on goals for. So definitely not keeping up with the league as far as that goes. Big differential there. Preds a little bit better, 21.3%, 13 goals on 61 opportunities. So they have 3 more goals on 1 less opportunity, have not given up a shorthanded goal. The net, their net ranking is 9th in the league, the power play on the road. By games played, per game played, 4th in the league in number of opportunities. So they draw a lot of penalties on the road relative to everybody else on a per game basis. And 7th in the league in goals for. So that's you'd prefer that to be a different way. But the 4th lead in the league in number of opportunities, but 7th in scoring per game. But again, a decent power play penalty kill could definitely be better. Taking a look at my special teams database here on the road, the Preds 12% in the second period is definitely the worst. They're up to 32% now. Goals scored on power play opportunities in the first. There's 6 goals on 19 opportunities in the first, and that's awesome. 32%. Like I said, the second period is where they get most of the opportunities. In fact, the same number of opportunities as the first and third combined, but only 4 goals on 33 opportunities in the second. And then the third, 3 on 14 for a percentage of 21%. Their opponents, fairly even across the first, second, and third, are getting roughly about 25% of the time. So it's 28% in the first period, 7 on 25. Exactly 25 in the second, 5 on 20, and then 24% 4 on 17 in the third. So equal opportunities, 1 on 4 for the home team when the Preds are on the road. But look out for the power play in the first period for the Preds, 6 on 19. Wow. Got to like that. Their first period on the road is their worst period, but holy cow, look at that. They've had more opportunities on the road than at home, and they've played more games at home. They're 3 of 18 at home for only 17%. That's 1/6. Right. Yeah, 16.6%, but 17. So 3 goals on 18 opportunities here at home, but 6 on 19 on the road. So yeah, the first period not on the road, not the Preds' best period, except for the power play. So that's exceptional. And that takes us to players to watch on this Saturday broadcast. Another one of these teams that just kind of spreads it around. I think the one guy with most of the stats is number 91 center Nazem Kadri. He's first in assists with 11, first in points with 15, fifth in ice time, 1948, and first in shots, 52. So you'll see him on the ice a lot. And like I said, he's first in assists and first in points in Calgary, and Calgary's a great road home team. But like I said, they kind of spread it around. Leading the team in goals is number 11 center Mikael Backlund. Following close with 7 are 2 people, number 27 right wing Matt Coronado and number 20 left wing Blake Coleman. Now, I have not looked at the lineups yet for Calgary, but let's see. The last time I looked at this, they confirmed that Saros was going to play against Vegas, and that turned out to be a Noonan. Oh, okay. So Calgary, that's Shangri-La, Sharangovich, Shangri-La left wing, Kadri and Farabi, then Huberdeau, Frost, and Zari. So who are these people? Coronado and Coleman. Coronado and Coleman, both left wings, but they play on the third line. So go take that. Backlund plays. Where does Backlund play? Those 3 guys are the third line. Backlund, Coronado, and Coleman. The leaders in goal scoring for Calgary at home are the third line. 8 for Backlund, 7 for Coronado, and 7 for Coleman. So I think that third line is something to watch out for. Is it the third line? But Coleman is second on the team in shots, so that's something else. Backlund is tied with Kadri for the points lead at 15. So yeah, I'd say look out for that third line of Backlund, Coleman, and Coronado would be the thing to look out for. Rasmussen, defenseman number 4, Rasmus Anderson, does lead the team in ice time, and he's second in assists. So that's Anderson. Yeah, he's on the first line, of course. So yeah, watch out for the third line. Go figure. For the Preds, leading the team in goals is now number 91 center Steven Stamkos with 9. He's second on the team in points with 15. Second on the team in shots with 44, and he's now up to over 20% in shooting percentage on the road, 20.5%. That's third on the team. Second on the team at 22.6% is number 71 right wing Matthew Wood, who is second on the team in goals with 7 on 31 shots, so 22.6. Leading the team with 1 goal on 3 shots, so 33%, is number 49 left wing Reed Schaefer. The other notable stats go to number 90 center Ryan O'Reilly, first in assists with 13, first in points with 18, fourth time on ice, 1943. And of course, Yossi leads the team in time on ice, and Forsberg leads the team in shots. So there you go. As far as momentum, Calgary, good home team, 12-5-3 at home. They are on a 3-game winning streak, which is the longest of the season. They've done 3 games a couple times in the past. They are 7-3-0 in the last 10, 3-0 in this homestand. A whopping 3-10-1 versus the Central. 14 games against the Central, 3-10-1. And so they've got a lot of good momentum, but I think it's just time to end this winning streak, and then they can move on. For Nashville, on the road, 8-9-2. They did lose the last game, breaking a 2-game winning streak, 6-4-0 in the last 10. 3-2 on this road trip, 1-1 on the previous road trip. 2-1 against the Pacific. So yeah, I think signs say yes. I don't know. I think this is going to be a good win for the Preds. I'm not sure where they're going to get it, given the stats. Calgary, again, a team that you don't trifle with. They don't give up. They're even harder than Seattle to score on. So, go figure. Okay, fine. Let's just take a quick look. Seattle Kraken. And, Seattle Kraken, goals for, or goals against, Preds are away, Kraken. Yeah, the Kraken were 29th in the league in being scored on. Well, I guess they do. No, this is goals for. That's goals for. This is goals against. Yeah. So 31st and 28th. So the Kraken are 28th in the league in goals against, 2.6. But Calgary half a goal less, 31st with 2.16. So, this is going to be a tough one. But I think the Preds are going to pull it out. I'll take a quick look. Also back here at the trade tracker and see if there's anything new before we go. And there is not. So that's it. A little bit of giddy up in my hitch today with having to fix things on the fly. So, but thanks for listening. I'm Preston Proctor. You've been listening to Predators Proclivity.